baby. Sin I need lately, shkundi mu spam, edhe dhe I treti, sanet po ndrojnë të...
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Soul Hunters here on the channel. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I already pre-recorded this episode and I was talking to it the whole time, and then I go back to replay it and there's no audio. So I got freaking mad as hell. But anyways, I'm going to replay the show, the episode, and then just do another commentary over it as we go along. Got some Mountain Dew, I can chill back now and I can kind of just rewatch it and just talk you guys through it. So today's episode is going to be about the Hall of Legends, obviously. Today it just finally came out. This one is going to be the Crusher. Now, as I found out, he's pretty freaking tough. The first team I tried was a physical team. It's the one that I usually like to do in the Crucible. And even though I just went through this, I kind of forgot, because you get 5 chances at it, which is actually pretty good, and they take the best out of 5. So you got some chances to try out here. So this first team did decent enough. As you can see, it's pretty good when it comes to, you know, all-out physical attack, and they do have some life steal. But the problem is, once you deal 100,000 damage to him, then he gets 1 skill. His rage and his energy go up every time that you deal 100,000 damage. So as you can see, now he's at 300,000, so he can, you know, keep using his ultimate skill, and it kind of deals out a lot of damage. Your team can't really withstand too much of it. So the first time here I did 400, and I think I did 435 here. This is where I died, which I thought was actually pretty decent, and for my first try. But I find out it's only ranked 55, so there's a lot of other people ahead of me, and they're trying out different things. So then I know I go back and I you know, retry this. Riley did good, Yulfing was not good, and Gale surprisingly didn't do too good. But the thing is, Gale gives the whole team a boost in attack, so she's good to have around. So I went back and I was like, let me retry with something else. I took out Yulfing, and then I'm not sure exactly who I put this time in. But this thing is actually pretty tough, so it's gonna take some time before you can figure out, you know, what team does well to it. So yeah, this time I went with a I went with a magic team. As you can see here, I figured, let me try a magic team. Maybe they can do a little bit better than my physical team, because you do get the magic boost from Alistar and from Osiris. So I figured that'll help a little bit. And I know that Gizmo is a big magic, you know, dealer. The problem is, my Gizmo is only 3 stars. He is fully equipped, but he's not enchanted at all, so he dies real quick. And then Musashi as a tank is not a good idea because his defense is not the best. I figured, you know, his offense will make up for his lack of defense, but the problem is he doesn't survive too long, and neither does neither does anybody else for that matter. As you can see, they do, I'm not sure what the damage was, but yeah, 334, so it's a lot worse than my other one. And then I dropped the rank here. I went to 56 because I guess somebody must have passed me. So then I figured, let me go back to that physical team, give them a shot again. Except I know I wasn't going to take Yulfing again, so I think I went, this turn, I think I went in and I hired somebody. Yeah, I think I was trying to look for somebody else I can put in, but I couldn't find anybody. I went in and I figured, let me hire, I think I hired Hanzo. That's right. I hired Hanzo here because I figured his, he does pretty good damage. This guy's orange, 7 stars. So he's got, is it 7 or 6? Yeah, 7 stars. So he's got to be decent enough with this physical team, because they get the boost from Gale, and should do pretty well. So then they start off, they kick ass. They're almost at 200,000 already, and it's only been about like I don't know, 10-15 seconds. So they start off pretty good. The Hanzo's ultimate is really good because it deals a lot of damage. And then they get some life steal, which makes them live a little bit longer. But once he goes into that shell and he uses those, he hurls those rocks, that's when it's tough to survive because mostly everybody dies. But as you can see here, Riley and Hanzo are surviving pretty well here because I know Hanzo has good dodge, but doesn't live that one. So I get up to 553, which is 21st, which I was pretty happy with. It's not bad, but the problem is I don't own that Hanzo, and that's the problem because I can probably only use him once whenever my guildmate has him available, and that's not the best solution. So I know for a fact that I'm going to be working on my Hanzo next. He's going to be a priority. I got to get him up to 7 stars as soon as possible, but the only problem is that it's going to take a shit long time because my Hanzo is 4-star right now. Then to get him to 7 stars, I'm gonna need 500, 250, so that's 650, and another 150. I'm gonna need probably about 900 more soul stones, so it's gonna take a long time for him. But here I figured I got 2 more chances. Let me just wait a little bit and do some other dailies while I, maybe I can enchant somebody or enhance somebody somehow. So I just collected my my daily rewards there real quick. Anyways, I know I had a lot to do here, so I was dropped in arena here a couple of spots. I was beat twice, and this defensive team, I just thought, let me give it a shot here. Let me try it all, an all-girls team here for some reason, but turned out to not be the best. They got beat pretty easy. Riley's not the best tank to use in arena. Maybe you can kind of try this in Grand Arena. Maybe it'll work, but for arena, it's not the best team. So I went in there and then tried to get my rank back. Changed up my team, and I went with the team that I've been kind of using for a while. Is this one with 3 damage dealers, and I have 2 tanks in there with Leon, and then I also put Riley in there. Now the problem is, I remember here I was having some weird connection problem with my internet. Yeah, and then the game just, as you see, the game just freezes on me. So I'm gonna have to cut this part out and come back to the next part. Alright guys, so I had to cut that part out real quick because, like I said, it froze. My game froze, and it froze with the reflector altogether. So I had to reset it and just reload the game again. But once I came back here, I checked it out and see if I got the win, which I did get the win versus Avengers. But then I got beat again 8 seconds later by that guy Chaos there. So I dropped another 11 rings, which I figured, let me just change my defensive team here, put my normal team that I usually run in there, and then just see what happens with this team. There, I went on to see what happened, what I got in the mailbox, which we finished another raid. And with this guild is going pretty well with the raids, because since they bumped up the contribution to 800, it helps out a lot. You can have a lot more raids open. Right now we have 13 and 14 open. That was 12 we just finished. So I figured, let me just check out if I wasn't sure what what I was in line for items wise. So I just checked that out real quick, and then I went on to do to attack the boss here in 14, and I'll show you guys what team I use. Usually I try to go with single damage dealers, because obviously it's a single damage target. Yeah, so I think this is the team that I went with here. Or maybe I went with Celine instead. Oh, that's right, I think I hired Hanzo again. Because I guess you can hire Hanzo from 2 different, seeing as that was Hall of Legend and this one is the raids. you just can't hire him for the same thing twice, but you can hire him for 2 different things. So that is pretty good, and that helped out because Hanzo does give you, you know, a nice attack when it comes to the raid. So he's useful for a few things here, and like I said before, I'm definitely going to be working on my Hanzo next because he's going to be pretty useful now that we can use him in both raids and the Hall of Legends. So he's going to be next on my list for raising up, but mine is not too well. I think I go in and check out my Hanzo pretty soon here and see. I remember that he's only like I think purple +1, so that doesn't really help me out too much here. So I apologize, guys. I mean, this feels kind of weird because I just went through this again, and I sat there for like 30 minutes, you know, playing the game and talking and going through it, and then now I had to redo it all again and just watch the replay of myself. It feels kind of silly now, but like I said, I apologize for that. Hopefully I can figure it out and fix it next time. Alright, so I think I just what I did is I went back. I did this twice. I went and attacked, you know, the same raid again. I'll try to see if I can edit this out and cut out a little piece. Or maybe I can fast forward this part. So I wanted to try, you know, something else here. I wanted to hire Bloodsphere here. I think that's what his name is, Bloodsphere. Maybe because I figured his ultimate will give a boost to physical and attack, and I have 2 physical and 2 attack dealers. But problem is he's too weak. He's only 3 stars, so he can't really survive much. And he dies right away, and then that just pretty much leads to the death of everybody else. Alistar is another hero that's really weak when it comes to defense. His defense is very low. He does dish out a lot of damage, and he's very useful in a lot of situations because he can, you know, it can turn the enemies into a duck for a while, which slows them down. And then with his ultimate, he will definitely deal a lot of damage. But his defense leaves a lot to be desired. And once he gets hit, you know, by a couple of attacks, maybe from Riley, maybe from Gale, or maybe from Beltor, he won't survive for long. So right now he's not. That's why a lot of people don't use him in the arena. I remember early on, everybody was using him in the arena when, you know, we were level, like, say 50 and 60s and 70s, because he was pretty, you know, useful, because in the beginning they didn't really have many heroes that could attack the back line. But then since they introduced Beltor and Riley and these heroes that can kind of jump in the back and disturb the whole team, it's gotten a lot harder to use Alistar. So he's not as useful, and I jumped at the opportunity right away, and I got my Alistar to 7 stars right away, and I figured, oh, he's gonna be, you know, really good. But I'm sure later on he'll be useful at some situations later on, so I'm not really mad about that. So this is when I went back, I think, and I checked out my Hanzo just to see, you know, where he was, and he's only a 4-star. Like I said, he's purple +1, so I'm gonna need a while to level him up, which kind of sucks, because he needs another, like, let's see, 79 soul stones to get to level 5. Yep, and then another 250 to get to 6, another 500 to get to 7. So it's going to be a long time before that. And then here I had a free gold chest, nothing good as usual, just some gold. And I figured, let me just buy one more, because I had I think I had 5,090,000, so I said, let me just spend that real quick. This which one is this? The Dwarf Forge from Bountiful Caverns it's pretty helpful when it comes to, you know, building up your gold. And then the dojo is very helpful for items because it drops a lot of items. And here, always make sure whether you're going to do the expert or you're going to do the I think it's extreme, because as you see here in expert, you have the destruction sword here, which is very helpful for a lot of heroes. And then in extreme, the difference is the septic of the abyss. That one is more of a magic hero item. The destruction sword is more of a physical hero item, and I figured let me try to go for the destruction sword here because I think I might need it for Hanzo. And since I'm going to be concentrating on Hanzo for a little bit here, I figured let me go with this one. So like I said, I went with that one. That's the only difference. And then the good thing is now that you can get once you reach the limit for this server, which is for the game right now is 90. You know, all the experience that you get from the dailies will go right into Crucible points, the Crucible coins, and you can use them for exchange. So all the Crucible heroes will eventually, you're probably going to eventually get them all to 7 stars fairly easy, which is really good because the game does give you a lot of chances to get, you know, a lot of the heroes. You just have to be, you know, patient. You don't really need to spend, you know, too much money in the game. Just be patient, you know, unless you're trying to be #1 in arena every single day and, you know, have every hero, then you can go ahead and spend as much money as you want. But if you don't want to, if you're just playing the game for fun, you know, and you just want to compete in the arena and have fun with the rest of the game, then you can just be patient, collect the heroes one by one, and just enjoy the game. Now they a couple updates ago, they increased, I guess, the loot that you get from the mines here. They also added diamonds, which helps out a lot because you can get a good, you know, a good amount of diamonds. Putting on a decent team, you get a, like, there's chances where I get over 30 something diamonds from one mine, maybe 40. But you're at the minimum, you're probably going to get at least 10. So 10 times 4 is 40. If you do that twice, that's 80 a day at the minimum. And at the maximum, you're probably going to get like double or triple that. So that helps a lot when it comes to diamonds. And here, try to put decent teams. You know, you want to put a good team. This team I like doing because they could take out teams fairly quickly that will attack them. And a lot of teams, once they see that combination, they'll probably just pass. They don't even want to fight that because it takes a while to take down. So you don't have to put, you know, the whole, you know, have to think for too long what heroes you're going to put in here. Just kind of put decent teams in there and just hope that you don't get attacked too much. So after I did that, I think next I was trying to go to back to the Hall of Legends here. I wanted to see if the heroes here from the shop will change, and they do. They refresh daily. So today you have Erstag, Leah, Hanzo, and Torsen, and tomorrow it'll be 4 different ones. The only ones that will remain the same is Gizmo and the Crusher there, because those are the new heroes. The other ones will always refresh. So if there's somebody else that you wanted to, you know, level up, you can also buy them. But for right now, I think the majority of players are probably going to go for Gizmo or Crusher because they're so new. And my Gizmo is 3 stars, and I fully equipped him, and he's an orange, so all I have to do is enchant his gear. The reason why I kind of do want to go for Gizmo first is because he deals a lot of damage. Even for a 3-star, if I fully equip him in the raids, he'll do a lot of damage. If he can survive a little while, I mean, he's pretty much just a damage dealer. As you can see his stats on the side there, his magic attack is 2,800 plus another 700 without enchantment. So I'm pretty sure that he's one of the, you know, the top magic dealers in the game, and it's continuous damage. Once he gets his ultimate, they attack for like 5, 6, 7 times, I think. And that's probably going to be really useful in the League of Legends. I'm League of Legends, the Hall of Legend there, because I think they're going to switch it up. I know it's supposed to be 3 heroes to start off. So Crusher was today. Maybe tomorrow it'll be somebody else. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to be, you know, one day it's going to be a physical. You can fight them with a physical team. One day you might be able to fight them with a magic team. One day it's supposed to be a mixed team. So they're going to do some type of, different combination in that sort of way. So we'll have to find out the strategy to fighting the bosses here at the Hall of Legend. And then I went back in here and I wanted to just check out, you know, if I could have done anything different, because I had 2 more chances and I had to use up, and I wanted to fight him again. Um, even at this point, I'm ranked 22, so I still get 1100 of those leaves for exchange, which is not the worst because you can get 10. If I get, let's say, 1,000 a day, I get 10, you know, Gizmo or Crusher soul stones per day. The problem is, to get them from 3-star to 7-star, you need 1,000 soul stones. So if I get 10 per day, that's gonna take me 100 days. Yep, 100 days to get Gizmo or Crusher to 7 stars. That is a long time, guys. I'm not gonna lie. 100 days to get somebody to 7 stars. But, you know, that's what the game is about. I mean, just patience as you keep playing it. And I had to do some raids here to get it out of the way for my dailies. I'm also working on Celine. She's very close to 6 stars. I just want to get her to 6-star and just keep her there for a little bit. I'm also working on I think my Leia is very close to 7 stars. Yeah, I think she's close to 7. Osiris is really close. I think she's at 450 something, so she's about 50 soul stones away. So yeah, Leia is 415, so 75 more. By the time I'm done with this, it's probably going to be about 70 more. So when I was, you know, earlier on when I was raiding, when I needed everybody, I kind of found out which spot they're at, and then I would just go, you know, I would go chapter by chapter, and I know exactly where the heroes were at. But once I finished the cleric, once I finished the Flora, once I finished Musashi, then I had to, you know, I would substitute new heroes in. So like I finished Gale, I'd put in Celine. And the problem is now I have so many different heroes that I'm trying to find the soul stones for that I kind of forget what spots they're on, because I was so used to, for such a long time, to, you know, go right to this spot, right to this spot. I was so used to that I forgot, you know, what spots these new heroes are. So now I just go right to heroes. I go on the hero I want, and I go right to the 3 locations, and then I just raid them that way. And don't forget to do your mercenary camp here, because you do get some good, you know, good gold. And if you can do it twice, well, once a day you can do it, but I think you get about, you know, between 50 to 80,000 if they're not used. And in my guild, everybody pretty much has all my heroes, and so does everybody else. But that's another 200,000-300,000 daily. For our guild wars, our guild is actually pretty good. We're facing this guild here, Dark Stalkers, this week. So if you're out there, what's going on, man? We're gonna take you guys down. But yeah, we got the first. Last week was week 1. We got the win. So did a lot of other teams. So doesn't really matter for week 1. So week 2 we should be all right, I think, because they don't have that many active members. I think it was only 24. We have a lot more. So hopefully we get the win for this one. And then I just wanted to enchant somebody here real quick to just get it out the way. Most of my guys are fully enchanted, as you can see. I always just, you know, go through, double check somebody if I miss something, but I think most of the guys that I use for the other things are fully enchanted. Because for a while there, I was concentrating on my Crucible team, because I really wanted to do good in Crucible, because like I said, you do get a lot of good. You could get a lot of good equipment and even heroes from there. So I wanted to get a nice Crucible team so I don't have to struggle. It takes me just like 10 minutes to finish that all day. So I'm pretty happy with that, you know, portion of the game. Now I gotta concentrate more on, you know, another portion, which is gonna be raiding, doing good in raids, and also that Hall of Legends, because this one is gonna be tough. The more heroes I guess you have upgraded and fully equipped, the easier it's going to be for you. I mean, the better damage you're going to do. So then I wanted to use my last 2 chances here for this for this Hall of Legends. I wasn't sure who to go with here. I was kind of, I was really confused. I wanted to try this with Leon because I figured maybe his defensive buffs will help out a little bit and make everybody survive a little bit longer. But then I figured let me try and go with Flora. Maybe her healing will come in handy, and she can heal everybody a little bit, and then maybe they'll survive a little longer. Then I also put in Musashi because I also figured Musashi's physical attack will, he should be dealing a good amount of damage before he dies, but his defense is not good and he doesn't really last a while. Yeah, as you can see, he dies from like one major attack. So Flora did use her ultimate, which was good, but the problem was their HP bar wasn't too low and she only healed them for a little bit. And once she was done healing, that's when he used his attack and just took everybody out real quick. And here's just Riley. I mean, if you look at his damage dealing, he does crazy amounts of damage. There's 11,000 in one hit. So there's not many heroes that will be able to deal with that. There are some teams that are doing pretty well in here. Like, I'm 22nd, so there must be a lot of good teams, doing a lot more. So I scored 553. And then I switched it up one more time. I wanted to try Beltor real quick because I know he's pretty powerful. I put Leon in for his defensive buffs. And I'm not sure what this team did here, but we'll find out real quick. And I think once Beltor is fully maxed and he's 7 stars, he's going to be very useful in this part of the game too, because he does deal a lot of damage. The problem is right now he's only 4-star and he dies very quickly, so that's the only problem. I do have a few ideas on some heroes that I think will be good here later on, but mines are not really upgraded yet. I think that the Spider Queen, what was it, Arachnia, I think she might be good for this because most of her skills are damage over time. The longer you last, the more damage they do. But I mean, we'll see. I'm sure that this is gonna kind of be that type of way where there's gonna be one hero like today's hero, the Crusher. We have to find out a weakness for her. Maybe it's magic, maybe it's physical, but they might have a hero where he's weak to magic. They might have a hero where he's you have to deal magic damage over time. It's kind of going to be like Heroes Charge in a way, where they have the Outward Portal where it's different types daily. I think this is what their idea is with this, so we'll find out, because tomorrow is going to be a new boss and we'll see how that one is. And at this point I just wanted to spend, I had 6,900,000, so I figured let me just spend the 900,000 here and see if I get anything good from gold. And the soul stones always help out here, and the XP souls always help out, so you can't go with that. And then that's when I got that Sage one, which I really needed. I knew I needed that for my Jasmine, the Sun Goddess, so I was pretty excited when I got that, so that's good. And I'm almost done here. I think I got one more here, and I left at a 6 million. I don't want to go too much down, because from upgrading a hero from 6-star to 7-star costs 4 million. Yeah, so you're gonna go through gold pretty quickly if you don't save some of it. And I know that Leia and Osiris are close to 7 stars. I wanna save some gold, but I did know that I need that Sage one for her, so I came in here real quick and I just gave it right to her so I can upgrade her real quick. So she's at purple +4, And I have almost everything for her except for one item. I know that I was missing one item here. I had to use. I know I had to use both of my shurikens, which wasn't the best because those things are not easy to farm. You have to farm 60 of them, and it takes a while. But I had to use them for her because she's gonna be, I think she's gonna be very big in my Crucible team as well, and I do. She's definitely gonna replace Flora, that's for sure. So I wanted to make sure that I get her to gold, fully enchanted, and then once her soul stones come out, I'm definitely gonna go for those without a doubt. So yeah, so that's the only thing I'm missing. I'm missing another Sage one there, so I can fully upgrade her and finish her. So I think that was it for today, guys. I'm not sure if there was anything else, but thanks for tuning in. I hope you liked the episode, and please, if hang on a second.